quick tip, and this one hopefully will be pretty quick. I want to share with you. This is all, as things are, I wouldn't say normalizing with used cars. I do think wholesale will decrease, but it'll be stable as the shortage replacement, and shortage being new car shortage with trade-ins. You also got to keep an eye on wholesale numbers of the fact that there's again, kind of a little bit misleading of the fact that rental car companies still there buying. If you see, volumes are low at the wholesale or at the lanes. One, watch, is the sales volume low versus the run number low? Two, there's other avenues that people are getting rid of cars. Think of things like ACV and multiple other dealer-to-dealer wholesale softwares out there, and think of all the dealers focusing on private party acquisitions now. All those kind of transactions, all the transactions being done on sites like ACV, all the transactions being done on Kelly Blue Book guaranteed values to private party acquisitions. All those values aren't part of the auction data that you're seeing. On top of, again, look at no sale rates and things like that. Retail data, again, is going to be tough because there's going to be, if things slow down, there's still going to be dealers that are going to hold out on their pricing, keep them high in hopes to control gross. The manager tries to control gross by managing gross, ends up costing themselves gross. So there's going to be dealers out there, managers keeping inflated pricing to try to maintain gross profits they've been getting. Then you have dealers that are going to get aggressive of this market and try to start dumping things. And so the median of that price is going to be tough to really gauge what these cars are selling for. So retail market's going to be a little bit tough too. So then that leads me to the fact that, one of the things I wanted to share my screen, I might be able to do that over here. One of the things that's going to be tough to do then is to, let me close this one out. I think I'm still live over here. Okay, good. One of the things that's going to be tough to do is, again, stay on top of those things other than what I call bucket management, and lead management is going to be really important and crucial right now. Let me explain what I mean by that. I'm going to share my screen over here, and let me show you what I mean by bucket management. You can go to your inventory management tool. This just happens to be our Lotpop software. I'm going to look at 31 to 45 day age bucket. That's what's currently sitting in this dealership's inventory, 31 to 45 days, 17% of their inventory is sitting there. Okay, and you can see that right there. Also, 22% of their active leads are there. So it seems like they have enough leads. At least the percentage-wise is greater than the inventory level. And then you go down here and what they sold over the last 14 days. Now, this is a demo site, but it's a live demo site. And if you notice, they've only sold 11% out of that same bucket that they're carrying 17%. So the last 2 weeks of sales, only 11% came out of that bucket. So they're 6% light. Okay, so if they don't increase that sale rate, those cars are going to bleed through an age. So you're going to want to figure out what cars are in that bucket. And then from there, what cars do you want to attack? You just don't want to blatantly attack every single car because it all depends on the scenario. I'm going to peek at this car. In our system, it's a 34. We call it a WTF score. And it calls work the facts. This is all factual stuff. A couple things in the red that I want to point out. One, they haven't changed the price since May 25th. Again, at live site. It's a 10 grand average investment, 10 grand higher than the current average investment. They're heavy in this segment to their current sale rate. They're heavy in this make to their sale rate. It's an age bucket they're not selling enough out of. They haven't had a lead in 7 days. It's low miles per year. So maybe I'm too proud too long. It has a high day supply. It is not converting on autotradercars.com. It's exceeded their holding cost goal. Plus, they have 3 leads they haven't contacted in 3 days. Let's go look at those leads. So in here, you can see there's 11 days since last contacted, 12 days since last contacted, 10 days since last contacted. Okay. So there's 3 leads that they did not work in this vehicle. So again, when I went and talked about, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. When I talk about bucket management, you've got to figure out What buckets are you bleeding through? Are you not selling it? Bleeding through meaning you're not selling as much as what's sitting there. They're going to bleed through to the next age bucket. So if this manager, he or she doesn't increase their sale rate on that 31 to 45 to exceed what's sitting there, they're sitting at 17%. Our gauge is to sell 5% or more than what's sitting there. So they're going to want at least 23% of their sales going out of that age bucket, and it's only sitting at 11%. So they need to increase that sale rate into that age bucket. If I'm going to increase the sale rate, I would pick that car out because, again, high average investment, heavy year or heavy in the segment, heavy. It's an age bucket we're not selling enough out of. It's not converting online. Heavy in that make, meaning Land Rovers, obviously, high day supply, had a lot of things going against it. But I don't know if it was a pricing issue. Obviously, we got leads on it. If it was priced too high, we wouldn't have got leads on it. The problem is we're not managing the leads we do have on it. So you want to do what we call, obviously, lot walk. You want to do your digital lot walk like you do your physical. When you do your physical lot walk, you make sure, and there's a parking lot out here, you make sure your cars are standing tall. You make sure there's no issues going on with the cars. Move them around, make sure they're not dirty, make sure they start, right? So digitally, this car, though, lot walk wise, again, had a lot high average investment, 10 grand higher. Not converting online, haven't had a lead in something. This car is not very appealing. So what can I do about it? Do I need to drop the price? I don't know. Again, when you do physical lot walk, you make sure your customers are meted and greeted. So let's go see if I have any leads and if we've been meeting and greeting. And that should be on this used car manager, not just the BDC or internet department. Okay. As a used car manager, you can't just assume that they're following up with the leads, because if this was happening on the showroom floor, okay, if customers are walking around 10 or 15 minutes without being meted or greeted or helped, you'd get upset. You go talk to those customers. You make sure you TO in every deal. But yet, when it comes to the CRM, a lot of times we let that slip. So bucket management and lead management, that's what it's going to have to be going forward here. I cover a lot of this bucket management or the WTF stuff in the book, Work the Facts. Let's go to workthefacts.com. All that is in the books, the charts and things that you want to track that you can do yourself if you need to, or if you want to. If not, you can reach out to us, see how we can help your store. But work the facts. That's factual. We're not selling enough 31 to 45. The car had a lot going against it. I had 3 active leads that I haven't contacted in a while. That's factual. You can't deny it. There's no buy-in that need to be done. Doesn't matter what the guy down the street's doing on the price of their vehicle. Doesn't matter what MMR and auction prices are saying. There's just this particular vehicle, especially when it came to leads, was not handled effectively. We have, back to the basics, Used Car Palooza. Myself, Tommy Gibbs, Ed French. We're going to get together on a used car free event at cars.com headquarters. We're also going to have Joe Chura there. Okay. Alex Vetter, CEO of cars.com. They're going to gracious host it in downtown Chicago, June 16th. It's a free event. Just go to UC Palooza, UCPALZZA.com. Check out Used Car Palooza. Sign up, register. We will have over 100 people showing up so far. So hit that event. Check out the book at workthefacts.com. Order a copy and help you go through some of the stuff you need to be tracking. Hope this was helpful. See you next week.